Okay, so imagine graduating college with a good chunk of change instead of being, weighed down by student loans.
That's the dream.
Right. And that's exactly what we're diving into today
Yeah.
with Anthony O'Neill's book, Debt-Free Degree.
Oh, this is such a good book.
You've given us a copy of this, and it's packed with advice on how to manage,
Yeah.
the financial side of college.
It really is a roadmap.
Yeah.
And I think what's compelling about it is it's not about just, getting by or scraping by.
Right.
He's focused on financial success even before you step foot on a college campus.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And whether you're a student or you're a parent or even just someone who's curious about, alternative paths to higher education,
Yeah.
I think there's something here for everyone.
Absolutely.
So let's jump right in.
Okay.
O'Neill starts off with a pretty sobering look at the whole student loan debt crisis.
He doesn't shy away from it.
Yeah.
The average student loan debt is a huge burden for graduates, and it impacts their choices and their finances for years to come.
He shares his personal experience with debt.
Yeah.
And, he benefited from his dad's GI Bill, so tuition wasn't an issue.
Huh.
But he still borrowed $10,000 for living expenses and ended up $35,000 in debt.
Wow.
From loans and credit cards.
Yeah.
Because he said, I just wasn't thinking long term.
Right.
Does that resonate with you at all?
Of course, yeah. I mean, I think when I was younger, I didn't fully grasp how those early financial decisions could impact you later.
Right.
I just thought, oh, it's fine. I'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
I'm young.
Yeah. You just kind of kick the can down the road.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, yeah.
And so he paints a picture of two different budgets.
Yeah.
Right? So in one scenario, a recent grad is grappling with a $100,000 student loan.
Okay.
And then with interest, that's over $1,100 a month.
Wow.
And he breaks it all down in a chart.
Yeah.
Rent, food, utilities, transportation.
Yeah.
They're already $306 short even before they account for their four walls, which is what he calls the essentials.
Okay, so let's unpack this a little bit.
Yeah.
They're in the negative.
Yes.
Even before covering those basics.
Right.
That's a pretty scary starting point.
Especially when those unexpected expenses pop up.
Right.
Rack.
Medical bills or car repairs or job loss.
Right.
I mean, those loan payments don't just disappear when things get tough.
They do not.
Yeah.
And then he has a second scenario where, the debt is smaller,
Okay.
but that person's still feeling the squeeze.
Okay.
And it's the average student loan payment of like $393.
Okay.
So it illustrates that any amount of debt
Yeah.
can limit your options.
Right.
And push back things like saving or investing or even buying a home.
Right.
You're constantly playing catch up.
Yeah. Yeah.
He says, debt robs you of your income every single paycheck.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And he also tackles this idea of student loan forgiveness.
Oh, yeah.
It's tempting to think of that as a solution, but he cites data suggesting less than 1% of applicants actually receive it.
Wow.
So banking on forgiveness is not really a reliable strategy.
Okay.
And what's fascinating here is he talks about how you don't even need a credit card to build credit.
Really?
He's challenging this notion that you need a credit card, especially as a student.
Okay.
And his argument is if you're paying cash for everything,
Yeah.
a credit score becomes irrelevant.
Interesting. Yeah.
It's just a different way of thinking about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Then he talks about financing a car, which is another financial drain,
Yeah.
right? Just like student loans.
Right.
He advocates for saving up and paying for a car with cash.
Yeah.
I get it, right? Driving a flashy car can be tempting.
Yeah.
But his point is that financial freedom down the road
Right.
is way more valuable.
It's about that delayed gratification.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so he actually compares a budget with a $393 monthly loan payment to one that's debt-free.
Okay.
The debt-free person can actually quadruple their savings, give to charity, even have money for gifts,
Wow.
all on the same salary,
That's pretty incredible.
just by not having those loan payments
Yeah.
looming over you.
And he actually takes it a step further.
Okay.
It says if you invest that $393 each month
Yeah.
instead of paying it towards your loan,
Right.
it could grow to nearly $60,000 in 8 years,
Wow.
assuming a 10% return.
Assuming a 10% return, right?
Yeah. And then if you keep investing
Yeah.
that same amount until retirement, your nest egg could be $3 million.
Right.
I mean, that's the magic of compound interest.
That's it. That's the key.
Right.
And this brings us to a really crucial point that resonated with me.
Okay.
He strongly advises against putting your college costs ahead of your own retirement savings.
So don't sacrifice your financial well-being
Correct.
to pay for your child's education.
Yeah, he says it pretty bluntly.
Yeah, that's tough.
I mean, but it's true, right?
Right, right. And it's so tempting to want to give your kids everything.
I know.
But you got to prioritize.
You have to
Your own financial security.
put your oxygen mask on first.
I like that analogy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the parents shouldering the burden.
Okay.
It's about involving your child in the process.
Okay.
Have them work part-time, finding scholarships, getting good grades.
It teaches them responsibility, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it makes them more invested in their
Yeah.
education.
Okay, so let's dive into some of the specific strategies.
Yeah.
He starts off by challenging the stigma around community college.
Yeah, he tells a story about Blake, who dreamed of attending this prestigious university with a top-notch audiovisual program.
Okay.
He didn't have the grades
Okay.
for scholarships,
Okay.
and he faced a choice, loans or community college.
Yeah.
He chose community college, and turned out to be a brilliant move.
How so?
He lived at home, he worked, he saved money, he got a 4.0 GPA,
Wow.
and then he was able to transfer to his dream school for his junior year
Wow.
and paid for it in cash.
That's pretty incredible.
It is.
Yeah.
So community college can be a great stepping stone.
Yeah.
It's not a compromise.
Right, right.
It's a strategic move.
And then he goes on to suggest other cost-saving strategies, summer classes, state-sponsored programs,
Right.
like the Tennessee Promise, which offers free tuition.
2 years. Yeah. Or technical schools
Okay. And even living at home.
to cut down on expenses.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's about being resourceful.
Yes. And thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
And he even cautions about overlooking those hidden costs of college.
Like what?
Well, he gives an example of a student who was on a 3-meal-a-day plan, even though they weren't always on campus.
Oh, okay.
A simple conversation with the school could have saved a lot of money.
Okay, so it's really those little details
Yeah.
that could add up.
They can add up, absolutely.
Yeah.
And talk to current college students to
Right.
get the real scoop.
Yeah.
They can give you insights that you might not get on
Right.
the website.
Now let's talk about finding the money for college. He starts with scholarships and grants,
yes.
you know, that free money that
Yeah.
everyone wants.
Absolutely.
He tells this amazing story about Jimmy, who was a student that made finding scholarships his mission,
He did.
and he diligently applied
He did.
and figured out that he was essentially earning $400 an hour
That's
based on the scholarships that he won.
That's more than any part-time job he could get.
It's true. It's true.
And
It really.
really shows you putting the time to find and apply can pay off.
Literally.
Literally.
So he breaks scholarships down into two categories,
Yes.
local and national.
Yes, he does.
Local scholarships might be smaller.
Right. Smaller amounts, but there's less competition.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And then national scholarships, bigger amounts,
Yeah,
but more competitive.
more competitive. Yeah, so
Yeah.
start local
Exactly.
and then branch out to national.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
And he highlights companies like Chick-fil-A, Starbucks, and Publix that offer tuition assistance programs.
Yes. This is good for high school kids to know.
Yeah, yeah.
So working for them while you're in school could be a great way to get some work experience, save some money,
Yeah.
and potentially get some help with college costs all at the same time.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Now, he doesn't just focus on the financial aspects.
Okay.
He emphasizes the importance of planning beyond the money.
Yes. This is good.
He shares the story of Brady, who decided at a young age he wanted to be a CFO in Manhattan.
Oh, wow.
And guess what? He actually became the CFO of a major energy company.
Wow.
It just shows you that early focus and planning
Yes.
can make a huge difference.
It's not just about going to college. It's about having a vision
Right.
and a roadmap.
And he cautions parents against pushing their dreams on their children.
Yes.
He tells a story about a university CFO who said the biggest problem
Oh, God.
wasn't the cost of college,
Okay.
but it was parents encouraging their kids to go to schools they couldn't afford.
Oh, wow.
So what you're saying is a college degree can be valuable, but it's not the only path to success.
No, it's not.
And forcing a child down a path they're not passionate about could lead to,
More problems than it solves.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
financial and otherwise.
Absolutely. And it's interesting, he points out 40% of students who start college
Wow.
don't earn a degree after 6 years.
That is a big number.
Yeah?
Yeah. So it's not just about getting in, it's about choosing the right path for you.
That's it.
Yeah.
And being committed to
Right.
seeing it through.
He then shifts the focus to the power of dreams and having a plan.
Yes.
He asks the reader to imagine someone encouraging them to dream big
Yeah.
and showing them how to turn those dreams into reality.
That kind of guidance can make a huge difference.
And it doesn't have to be some grand, elaborate plan.
Yeah.
He tells a story about an elementary school principal
Okay.
who took second graders on college tours.
Second grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She wanted to expose them to possibilities and just inspire them.
That's amazing.
Right. And she saw an increase in the number of her students graduating high school
That's great.
and going on to college.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's a testament to that early exposure.
Yeah.
Planting those seeds.
Plant those seeds.
Yeah. He also shares a really heartwarming story about Megan, who grew up on a ranch
Okay.
and was fascinated by female news anchors.
Oh, wow.
So her dad, recognizing her passion, signed her up for a summer camp where she got to visit a TV station
Oh,
and help make a news program.
that's great.
Years later, she's the first in her family to attend college
Wow.
and is studying journalism while interning at a local TV station.
That's so great. And it really speaks to nurturing those early passions and providing those opportunities for explorations, finding that what he calls the LED light, that thing that sparks your interest and kind of guides your path.
Yeah.
That can make all the difference.
Okay, so let's talk about high school.
Okay.
Where do we even begin?
Oh, man, he jumps right into seventh grade.
Seventh grade.
Seventh grade.
Wow, okay.
He believes in starting early.
Oh.
He's a big believer in that.
Okay.
So he emphasizes the importance of saving a $500 emergency fund,
Okay.
getting out of debt, using the debt snowball method, and paying cash for a car.
Okay, I've heard of the debt snowball method.
Yeah, have you?
Yeah, but can you explain it for our listeners who might not be familiar?
Absolutely. So it's a debt reduction strategy where you focus on paying off your smallest debts first, regardless of interest rates.
Okay.
Once that smallest debt is paid off,
Okay.
you roll that payment amount into the next smallest debt, and so on and so on.
Okay.
So it creates momentum and a sense of accomplishment.
So you're getting those quick wins
Exactly.
to keep you motivated.
Exactly.
Okay, that's a great explanation.
Yeah.
And it makes a lot of sense, especially when you're first starting out.
It does.
Yeah, building those positive financial habits
Absolutely. Build those habits early.
early on.
Yeah. And then he talks about Duke University's Talent Identification Program, or Duke TIPI.
Yeah, I've heard of Duke Tip.
Have you?
Yeah.
It's a program that identifies academically gifted students.
Right.
So if you score in the 95th percentile on standardized tests
Okay.
or have an IQ of 125 or above,
Okay.
you can qualify.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And one of the benefits is early SAT testing,
Oh, okay.
which can give students a head start in that college application process.
Okay, so seventh grade is about laying the groundwork.
Yes.
Building that financial literacy,
Absolutely.
exploring those programs for gifted students.
Yep.
And maybe even starting to think about those standardized tests.
Yeah, start thinking about it early.
Okay, what about eighth grade?
He suggests that 8th grade is a good time to research and make a list of potential scholarships.
Okay.
You might not be eligible to apply yet,
Okay.
but getting a sense of what's out there is incredibly helpful.
Okay, so start early, start researching.
Exactly.
Okay.
And he tells a story about Benny, who knew from a young age he wanted to study marine biology
Oh, wow.
in California.
Okay.
Benny was driven. He started working in 8th grade.
Wow.
He even launched his own car washing business to save money.
Oh, wow, that's great.
He gave up playing sports
Wow.
to focus on extracurricular activities
Wow. That's dedication?
that could lead to scholarships.
Yeah.
By senior year, he had enough cash and scholarships
Yeah.
to attend his dream school.
So eighth grade is about exploring those interests.
Yes.
And thinking about how those interests might translate into career paths.
Yes.
And starting to build that scholarship strategy.
Yep, that's right.
What about freshman year of high school?
Freshman year, academics really take center stage.
Okay.
So O'Neill stresses the importance of taking challenging courses and maintaining a strong GPA from day one.
Yeah.
And those freshman year grades matter, especially for college applications.
Right.
He encourages students to take advanced classes like honors,
Yeah.
AP,
Yeah.
and dual enrollment.
Okay.
But he does mention that AP and honors course weighting can vary by school.
Okay.
So it's important to understand how your school calculates GPAs.
So talk to the guidance counselor.
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah.
To make sure you're taking the right classes
Right.
in the right order.
Okay.
to meet those graduation and college admission requirements.
Yeah, and he gives the example of Chet,
Yeah.
whose strong grades in freshman year honors classes helped balance out a lower grade in a tough AP math class later on.
Right. So those early high marks really made a difference
Yeah.
in his overall GPA, which again, key for scholarships.
Right.
And he talks about the benefits of AP classes so students can potentially earn college credit
Okay.
by passing the AP exam at the end of the course,
Yeah.
which can save time and money.
Yeah.
But he does say you don't have to take the exam.
Okay.
The A in the course still benefits your GPA,
Okay.
even if you don't get college credit.
Okay, so it's a win-win.
It is.
Yeah.
And then he explains dual enrollment, which is taking college-level courses while still in high school.
Right.
They can be demanding.
Yeah.
But again, check with the college on your list
Yeah.
to see what credits they accept and how many
Yeah.
they'll let you transfer.
Okay.
So freshman year is about hitting the ground running academically,
Right.
exploring those advanced course options,
Yeah.
and understanding how those choices impact
Yeah.
those future college applications.
And it's not just about academics, right?
No, it's not.
He also talks about character
Yeah.
and building a positive personal brand.
Yes.
Colleges are looking for well-rounded individuals.
They are.
He shares this cautionary tale about a student who lost a full-ride scholarship because of inappropriate social media activity.
Oh, no.
It's a reminder that your online presence
It matters.
really does matter,
It does.
especially when it comes to those college applications.
Absolutely. So he suggests some practical advice for managing your online presence.
Like what?
Well, don't post anything you wouldn't want your grandma to see.
Okay, that's good advice.
Think before you post. Be mindful of your audience.
Yeah.
And he also recommends creating a separate email address for professional communication.
Like contacting colleges or...
Contacting colleges, applying for scholarships.
Yeah.
So you're making a good first impression.
Right.
And then he also suggests meeting with your guidance counselor at least twice a semester to discuss your course selection,
Okay.
your college plans, scholarship opportunities.
Yeah.
Counselors have a wealth of knowledge, and they can be invaluable resources.
Yeah.
He even talks about the National Honor Society, which recognizes students for their academic achievements, leadership, service, and character.
Yeah.
And this is a great addition to a college application.
But he emphasizes that it's not just an honor roll group.
No, it's a service organization.
Right.
So you have to be genuinely committed
Yeah.
to serving others.
So freshman year is also about building your character,
Yes.
refining your online presence. Yes. And utilizing those resources,
Yep.
like the guidance counselor, to stay on track.
Yes, absolutely.
What about life outside of academics?
Well, he encourages students to get involved in extracurricular activities,
Yeah.
but he cautions against overcommitting.
Right.
It's better to be deeply involved in a few activities than to be spread too thin across many.
And he gives the example of Eli, who gave up playing basketball
Oh, wow.
to focus on his roles as class president and treasurer of the math club.
Okay.
He knew he wasn't going to be a college athlete,
Right.
so he prioritized those leadership opportunities.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then he also talks about volunteering,
Okay.
not just for college applications, but for personal growth and those unexpected rewards that come from serving others.
Yeah, he tells Sarah's story, who started volunteering at a retirement home just to fulfill community service hours.
Right.
But she ended up forming these really deep friendships with the residents.
Oh, wow.
And it became this truly meaningful experience
That's awesome.
for her.
Yeah.
And of course, he tackles the age-old question,
Okay.
should your teen get a part-time job?
Should they?
Right. And he highlights several benefits.
Okay.
Saving money for college, demonstrating responsibility,
Yeah.
and gaining work experience that can lead to internships or scholarship.
That's right. He mentions those companies that we talked about.
Yeah.
Like Chick-fil-A, Starbucks, Publix,
Yeah.
that offer tuition assistance.
Right.
And then he tells a story of Daniel, who landed a programming internship in high school
Wow.
that eventually led to that company paying for his college tuition.
So it's kind of that ripple effect of that work experience.
He encourages entrepreneurial endeavors.
He does.
He mentions his teen entrepreneur toolbox
Yes.
as a resource for students.
They want to start their own businesses.
Yeah.
And he tells a great story about Justice, who started a car detailing business in 9th grade
Wow.
and eventually grew it into multiple successful businesses.
It's amazing what you can achieve
with that hard work and determination and a little bit of entrepreneurial spirit.
That's right.
And he also circles back to the career shadowing and the internships,
Right.
just reminding students that those experiences can help refine their career goals
Right.
and make those more informed decisions about their future college major.
So freshman year is about finding that balance, challenging yourself academically, exploring your interest through the extracurriculars and the work experience, and really building a strong foundation for the years ahead.
Great. So we covered 7th and 8th grade and freshman year of high school.
We did.
That's a great start.
That is.
And in the next part of our deep dive, we're going to pick up with sophomore year and beyond.
We're going to keep going.
Yeah.
We're going to keep going.
I'm excited.
Me too. So one thing that really struck me about this book was just O'Neill's personal experience woven into the advice.
Yeah.
He's been through it. He's made the mistakes.
Right.
So it's not like he's speaking, from an ivory tower. You can feel that authenticity.
He's speaking from experience and really genuine concern.
Yeah, he gets candid about his own missteps and how they affected him.
Yeah, like getting kicked out of college and accumulating debt.
Even with help from his dad's GI Bill.
Right.
He talks about getting involved with Greek's life and led him to party more than study.
Yeah.
And just make impulsive financial choices.
Yeah.
He ended up homeless, sleeping in his car.
Wow.
A far cry from that CFO dream we were just talking about.
Yeah, it's a reality check that even with the best intentions, things can go off track.
Absolutely.
But it's also a testament to resilience, right? He turned his life around.
Yeah, he did.
Became a financial expert and is now dedicated to helping others avoid those pitfalls.
Yes, and so he distills all those lessons learned into 8 key pieces of advice for students transitioning to college.
Okay.
It covers academics, finances, social life, really setting yourself up for success.
All areas, yeah.
All areas. So he starts with academics, and this might seem obvious.
Okay.
But he stresses the importance of actually going to class.
Okay.
It's about being present, engaging in your learning.
Right.
And don't just passively sit there.
Right.
Ask questions, seek help from professors or tutors when you need it.
Oh, yeah. I remember feeling intimidated to ask for help in college.
I did too.
Like admitting I wasn't smart enough or something.
It felt like a failure.
Yeah, but he reframes that.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
It's a sign of strength, not weakness.
That's right. And it takes courage to acknowledge when you need that support.
Right.
And there are so many resources out there.
Okay.
He also reminds students that you can choose your professors.
That's something I wish I had known earlier.
Me too. I just registered for whatever fit my schedule.
Right.
Without thinking about the professor or teaching style.
Right.
But professors can make a huge difference in your learning experience. Talk to other students, check online ratings, and pick ones who are known to be engaging and effective teachers.
Yeah. Okay, but then he dives into finances.
He does.
And his message is clear.
Yeah.
Create a budget and stick to it.
Yes.
Track your expenses.
Know where your money's going.
And he's really adamant about avoiding credit cards.
Oh, he is, yeah.
He calls them a recipe for disaster.
Especially for young people.
Yeah, yeah.
It's easy to fall into that trap of overspending and accumulating debt.
Right.
When you have that readily available credit.
Okay. And then he suggests finding a part-time job if you need extra cash.
Yeah, it's a way to earn money, gain experience, and build those valuable work skills.
And then there's the social aspect of college, which can be both exhilarating and overwhelming at times.
Yes.
O'Neill acknowledges that college is a time for making new friends and having fun.
Absolutely.
But he emphasizes the importance of responsibility.
Right.
He cautions against getting caught up in the party scene and making choices that could jeopardize your future.
Absolutely. Be responsible with alcohol and drugs.
Yeah.
And get involved in those campus activities and clubs to make the most of your college experience.
Meet people with shared interests, yeah.
Exactly.
His final piece of advice focuses on personal growth.
Okay.
And he reminds students that college isn't just about academics.
That's right.
But it's also about personal development.
Yeah, discovering who you are, what you believe in, and what you want to do.
And he encourages staying true to your values.
Yes.
Taking care of your mental and physical health.
Yeah, and seeking support.
Yeah.
From friends, family, or counselors when you need it.
Yeah. College can be a really challenging time.
It can.
But it's also this incredible opportunity for growth and self-discovery.
Absolutely. A time to step outside your comfort zone, try new things,
Yeah.
meet new people, and really start shaping your future.
Now, the book focuses on that traditional 4-year college path,
Yeah.
but he does bring up alternative options like trade schools and apprenticeships.
He does. He does.
And he suggests that those can be a great way to learn a skill, get a job,
Right.
then start earning money without taking on student loan debt.
Exactly. And it's all part of what he calls the debt-free degree mindset.
Okay.
It's about being intentional with your choices,
Okay.
planning ahead, thinking about the long-term financial implications
Right.
of your decisions.
Okay.
And that mindset can apply to any path you choose,
Yeah.
whether it's college, trade school, or even starting your own business.
And he ends the book with this really powerful message.
Yeah, what is it?
You are not your degree.
Okay.
You are who you choose to become.
Such a crucial reminder.
Yeah.
I mean, your worth isn't determined by your academic achievements or your job title.
Right, right.
It's about defining success on your own terms.
Yeah.
And building a life that's meaningful to you.
I love that message.
Yeah.
So empowering.
It is.
It takes the pressure off this idea that you have to follow the specific path
Right.
to be successful. Now, after spending all this time with O'Neill's advice,
Yeah.
there's one question that keeps coming back to me.
Okay.
What about those students who aren't sure what they want to do with their lives?
Right.
They might not have that LED light
That Megan had.
that Megan, the aspiring journalist, had.
Yeah.
He definitely emphasizes finding your passion.
He does.
But he also acknowledges that not everyone has it figured out by the time they graduate high school.
Absolutely. And he suggests taking a gap year if you need time
Okay.
to explore
Yeah.
your interest, work, or volunteer.
And he also reassures those undecided students
Yeah.
that it's okay to change their mind.
That's right.
You're not locked into your major or career path forever.
Absolutely not.
There's always room for growth and change.
And most college students don't even start taking courses in their major
Right.
until their sophomore year.
Yeah.
So there's time
Yeah.
to figure things out.
Stay curious, explore those options, and be open to those possibilities.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of students and parents put so much pressure on themselves
Yeah.
to have everything figured out
Right away, yeah.
right away.
Yeah.
It's refreshing to hear that it's okay
Yeah.
to take your time and explore.
Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about scholarships.
All right.
O'Neill is a huge advocate for finding and applying for as many scholarships as possible.
Free money you don't have to repay.
Right, exactly.
It's the best kind of money.
He recommends starting the search for scholarships as early as possible.
As early as possible. Yeah.
Even middle school,
Yeah.
even if you're not eligible to apply yet.
Yeah. But just start researching, make a list
Yeah.
of potential scholarships. Just get a sense of what's out there.
Start early.
Yes.
Okay, he says focus on local scholarships first.
Yes. Typically less competition.
Yeah, and then look for scholarships related to your interests or hobbies.
Or your intended major.
Okay.
Yeah.
You might be surprised by the variety of scholarships out there.
There are.
Everything from being left-handed
That's right.
to being a Star Wars fan.
And every little bit helps.
Yeah, it all adds up.
Right.
He tells a story about a student who was able to cover $4,000 of his tuition
Wow.
just from local scholarships he received from his church.
Okay.
A Rotary Club,
Wow.
a couple of local businesses.
That's awesome.
It's all about being resourceful
Yes.
and exploring every avenue.
That's right.
And then he stresses the importance of taking the time to craft strong scholarship applications.
Yes. Treat it like a job.
Okay.
Set aside time each week.
Okay.
Make sure you're meeting those deadlines and putting your best foot forward.
And have someone proofread your essays
Yes.
before submitting.
Always. A fresh set of eyes can catch any errors or areas that could be improved.
Highlight your unique qualities and experiences.
Let your personality shine through.
Okay, I like that. So he offers some specific strategies for finding those scholarships.
Yes. He suggests starting with your guidance counselor,
Yeah.
your teachers. They often have access to information that's not readily available online.
Makes sense.
And then check your local library,
Okay.
community organizations,
Yeah.
religious institutions.
Okay.
Never know where you might find a hidden gem.
Right.
Use online scholarship databases like FastWeb and scholarships.com.
Oh, yeah, those are great resources.
They are.
Okay.
And a word of caution, he cautions against scholarship scams.
Okay.
Legitimate scholarships never ask you to pay a fee to apply.
Okay. If it seems too good to be true,
It probably is.
it probably is.
Do your research.
Yeah.
Make sure the opportunity's legit.
Now, I love the story he shares about Justice,
Oh, tell me about it.
who started a car detailing business in 9th grade because he was too young to get a regular job.
Oh, wow.
And by his sophomore year, he was making enough money to buy his own car.
Wow.
And by junior year, he had hired 5 employees.
That's amazing.
And he was able to pay for college with the money he saved from his business. And he even continued to run the business while he was in school.
That's amazing.
Just an incredible example of what you can achieve with that hard work and dedication and that entrepreneurial spirit.
Absolutely.
Now let's shift gears again and talk about choosing a major.
I know this can be a tough one.
Right, and especially if you're not sure what you want to do with your life.
Yeah, O'Neill acknowledges that.
Okay.
And he encourages students to explore their interests and consider taking a variety of courses in their first year or two of college.
Yeah.
I remember feeling so much pressure to declare a major right away.
Right.
I wish I'd known that it was okay to take my time and explore.
Yeah.
And talk to professors, advisors, professionals in fields that you're interested in.
Yeah.
And get a firsthand insight into what those careers actually entail.
Yeah.
And he reminds students that it's okay to change their major.
Yeah.
If they discover their initial choice wasn't a good fit.
It's not a failure.
It's not.
It's a sign of growth and self-awareness.
It is. It's about finding a path that aligns with your interests, your skills, and your values.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's dive into the social aspects of college.
Okay.
O'Neill acknowledges that college is a time for making new friends,
That's
exploring new interests, and having fun.
Come on, yeah.
But he emphasizes the importance of balance.
Balance, yes.
And responsibility.
Responsibility.
He cautions against getting caught up in that party scene.
Yeah.
And making choices that could jeopardize your future.
Make smart decisions.
Yeah.
It's all about moderation.
Yeah.
Get involved in campus activities.
Yeah.
Join clubs, attend social events, but do so responsibly.
Surround yourself with positive influences.
Yes, and make friends who support your goals and values.
I like that.
Because your social circle can have a huge impact
It can.
on your college experience, both academically and personally.
And he reminds students that your actions have consequences.
Yeah, they do.
Even seemingly minor choices can have a lasting impact on your life.
That's right. Be mindful of your decisions. You're building a reputation and a future for yourself.
Now let's talk about personal growth.
Okay.
O'Neill sees that as a really crucial part of that college experience.
He encourages students to view college as an opportunity for self-discovery and personal development.
It's a chance to challenge yourself, step outside your comfort zone, and really figure out who you are and what you want out of life.
Absolutely.
He suggests taking classes that challenge your beliefs and assumptions, exploring new hobbies and interests, and pushing yourself to grow intellectually and emotionally.
Yeah.
He also encourages students to prioritize their mental and physical health.
Yes, so important.
Get enough sleep, eat healthy foods, and exercise regularly.
It's so easy to neglect those things when you're busy.
I know.
But it's crucial for overall well-being.
And he reminds us that college can be a stressful time.
Oh, yeah, it can.
And so it's important to have healthy coping mechanisms.
Whether it's exercise, meditation, spending time in nature.
And don't be afraid to seek help.
Yes.
If you're struggling with anxiety or depression or any other mental health issues.
Yeah, and remember, there's no shame in asking for help.
Absolutely not.
There are resources out there.
Yeah. Now, one thing that a lot of students struggle with is homesickness.
Especially when they're away from home for the first time.
Yeah.
It's a natural reaction to being in a new environment.
Missing the familiar comforts of home.
Missing everything familiar.
Right.
So stay connected with your families and friends back home.
Yeah.
But make an effort to build those new relationships and create a sense of community at college.
Join clubs, attend social events.
Yeah.
Get to know your roommates and classmates.
Put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Create a new support system.
I like that, yeah.
And find a quiet place on campus.
Okay.
Where you can relax and de-stress when you're feeling overwhelmed.
You need that space to recharge.
Yeah, to feel grounded.
And remind yourself that homesickness is usually temporary.
It is.
It fades as you adjust to your new environment.
That's great.
Now let's talk about time management.
Oh, time management.
College can be a whirlwind of classes, assignments, extracurricular activities.
It can be overwhelming.
Social events. It's easy to get overwhelmed.
Use a planner or calendar.
Yeah, good advice.
To schedule those classes, appointments, and study time.
Be organized and proactive.
That's it.
Don't wait till the last minute to start working on things.
Break those large assignments down into smaller, more manageable tasks.
Right.
Prioritize.
Yeah.
And focus on the most important ones first.
It's okay to say no.
It is.
Have some requests.
Set those boundaries.
Yeah.
Protect your time and energy.
I think a lot of students struggle with that, especially if they're used to being involved in everything.
Yeah, it's a crucial skill for managing your time.
Okay.
And then find a study environment that works for you.
Whether it's the library or your dorm room.
Or a coffee shop.
Yeah, or a coffee shop.
Minimize those distractions.
Create a space that's conducive to learning.
Now let's talk about studying effectively.
Okay.
Review your notes regularly. Actively engage with the material.
Oh, okay.
Seek help from your professors or tutors
Yeah.
when you're struggling to understand a concept.
Take ownership of your learning.
That's right.
Okay.
Find a study buddy.
Yeah.
Form a study group, share ideas, and support each other.
Okay, that's a good way to stay motivated.
It is.
And accountable.
And cramming is not an effective study strategy.
No.
Study a little bit every day.
Yeah.
Instead of cramming the night before.
Okay.
And then test-taking strategy.
Yeah, test taken.
Get a good night's sleep.
Okay, so important.
Eat a healthy breakfast.
Yeah.
Arrive at the test location early.
Yeah.
Read the directions carefully. Pace yourself.
Yeah.
Answer the questions, first.
Yep.
Use a process of elimination to narrow down those choices.
Yeah.
Make educated guesses when you're unsure of the answer.
Okay, good advice, good advice.
Stay calm and focused.
Yeah.
And avoid getting bogged down
By the tough ones.
by those difficult questions.
Now let's talk about finding a job,
Okay.
which many students need to do
Yes, they do.
to help cover those expenses.
He encourages students to start looking early.
Okay, in the semester.
Yeah, in the semester.
And to be persistent.
Absolutely.
Check out the campus job board
Yeah.
network with professors, classmates, and even those online job search websites.
He also encourages students to consider internships,
Oh, yeah, great way to get that experience.
which can provide work experience and potentially lead to job offers.
Okay, so it's never too early to start thinking about your career.
That's right, and building that resume.
And he reminds students to update their resume and practice their interviewing skills.
Absolutely.
Those skills are essential for any job search.
Yeah.
He provides some advice for students struggling to balance work and school.
It's a tough balancing act.
Yeah.
Set realistic expectations and prioritize your academics.
Right, your education comes first.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Limit your work hours. Communicate with your professors and employers
Yeah.
if you're having trouble managing your workload.
Open communication is key.
Yes, set those clear boundaries.
Okay, now let's talk about graduation.
Oh, graduation.
The culmination of all your hard work.
The beginning of a new chapter.
O'Neill reminds us that graduation is a time to celebrate
It is,
your
yes.
accomplishments and look forward to the future.
Attend your graduation ceremony.
Okay.
Even if you're not a fan of all the pomp and circumstance,
Yeah.
invite your family and friends, share in the celebration, thank them for their support.
They've been with you every step of the way.
They have.
Okay.
Reflect on your college journey. Think about those lessons you've learned
Yeah.
and the growth you've experienced.
Right.
College is a transformative experience,
It is.
a time of immense personal and intellectual growth.
Yeah.
Look back on how far you've come.
Yeah.
Set your sights on the future.
Now let's shift gears one last time.
I'm going to talk about some of the broader themes that emerge from O'Neill's debt-free degree.
One of the most prominent themes is personal responsibility.
Yeah.
We are all responsible for our own choices and actions.
Right.
And we have the power to create the future we want.
It's about taking ownership of your life.
Yes. And making choices that align with your goals and values.
Okay. He encourages students to take ownership of their education.
Yes, their finances, their lives.
Another key theme is planning ahead.
Absolutely.
The choices we make today have a lasting impact
They do.
on our future.
Start thinking about college early.
Yeah.
Develop a plan.
Yeah.
Make decisions that set you up for success.
Okay, what else?
And then perseverance.
Oh, yeah.
That journey to a debt-free degree,
Can be challenging.
it can,
Yeah.
but never give up on those dreams.
It's about the resilience and
Yes.
determination.
That's right. Keep going, even when things get tough.
What else?
Community.
Yeah.
Surround yourself with those positive influences, mentors.
Build that support system
Yeah.
of friends, family, and trusted advisors.
We don't have to go through this journey alone.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
And finally, finding your purpose.
Okay.
Think about your passions, your skills,
Yeah.
your values.
Yep.
And find a career path that aligns with your unique gifts and talents.
Find that work that lights you up.
Absolutely. It should be more than just a way to make money.
Right.
It should be a source of meaning and fulfillment.
I love that.
Yeah.
Now, after spending all this time with his advice,
Yeah.
there's one question I think is particularly relevant for you.
Okay, what is it?
O'Neill's book is very focused on that traditional four-year college.
It is.
He touches on alternatives, like trade schools.
He does.
But he doesn't delve too deeply into those.
Right. So what if college isn't the right path for you?
Right.
What if your interest and talents lie elsewhere?
What if your LED light leads you down a different path?
That's right. And while his advice is tailored toward college, the principles he outlines,
planning, hard work, financial responsibility, finding your purpose, can apply to any path you choose.
Absolutely.
If you're considering a trade school, an apprenticeship, starting your own business, pursuing any other path that doesn't involve a traditional college degree.
don't feel like you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, you're not.
Yeah.
The important thing is to find a path that aligns with you and to pursue it.
And remember, there's no shame in changing your mind.
That's right.
Life is a journey.
Yes, it is.
And it's okay to course correct along the way.
As we wrap up our deep dive into debt-free degree, I want to leave you with one final thought-provoking question.
Okay, get me with it.
O'Neill focuses on traditional career paths, but what about the gig economy?
Oh.
Could side hustles, freelance work, even creating your own online business offer a faster path to financial freedom?
Especially if you're avoiding that student loan debt.
Especially if you're avoiding that debt. That's right.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. The world of work is changing rapidly.
It is.
And it's important to be open to new possibilities and embrace that entrepreneurial spirit.
So whether you're considering college, trade school, or blazing your own trail, remember that debt-free future is achievable.
It is.
With the right mindset and a solid plan.
Absolutely. And we're here to support you every step of the way.
What resonated most with you from today's deep dive?
Yeah.
What questions do you still have?
We'd love to hear your thoughts and continue this conversation.
Remember, you're not alone on this journey.
No, you're not.
We're here to support you every step of the way.
Yeah, and it's so inspiring to see people forge their own paths these days.
It is.
And find that success outside the traditional 9-to-5.
It all comes back to being proactive. Taking control of your future.
Don't be afraid to think outside the box. And explore those unconventional options.
That's right. And don't underestimate the power of networking either.
Networking. That can be a little intimidating. I know, but it is essential for building relationships and learning from others in your field.
So how do you suggest people go about that?
Push yourself out there. Attend industry events. Reach out to people you admire. Be open to new connections.
I like that.
You never know who you might meet or what doors might open.
That's so true. So as you embark on your own debt-free journey, remember that knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
The more informed you are, the better equipped you'll be
to
make those wise decisions and create a brighter future for yourself.
That's right. And don't be afraid to ask for help along the way.
Yeah.
There are so many resources available, from guidance counselors to financial advisors to mentors, online communities. People have been in your shoes, and they're eager to share their experience and offer support.
This has been such a valuable deep dive into debt-free degree.
I agree.
I feel like we've barely even scratched the surface of all the advice and insights that he has to offer.
I encourage everyone to check it out.
Yes, absolutely. And remember, a debt-free future is within your reach.
It is.
It all starts with a single step.
Take that step today and never stop learning, growing, and striving for your dreams.
It's been such a pleasure diving deep into debt-free degree with you today.
It has been fun.
We hope this conversation has sparked some ideas and inspired you to take control of your financial future.
What resonated most with you from our discussion? What questions are still swirling around in your mind?
We'd love to hear your thoughts and continue this conversation.
Remember, you're not alone on this journey.
We're here to support you every step of the way.